The Times of Canada team is at Mayor's office. His Worship George Harvey, the Mayor of Delta. And it's great opportunity, great pleasure for me to be at your office, Mayor. Nice meeting
It's a pleasure to have you here. Good to see you again.
Thank you. The North Delta and South Delta, these are two vibrant cities where the population is very diverse. And this city is a growing city. We'll talk to Mayor about the city. We'll talk some questions that are kind of surprise to all the viewers. There are questions that nobody has asked so far, the background and journey of Mayor as well. So Mayor, first of all, we'll start with your journey. As a Mayor of Delta, what is your vision? What are you trying to accomplish?
Trying to make sure that our community is treated equally, and because we're a very large community, largest landmass in the Lower Mainland. We actually were rated number 2 in the Lower Mainland as the best cities in Metro Vancouver and the top 53 across Canada. I'm very proud of that, but we can do a lot better. And my journey, insofar as the mayor, is to ensure that our residents have a robust police department, a robust first responders from our fire department. Transportation has to be improved. I'm working very hard to ensure that we get our fair share of TransLink services. Those are things that I'm committed to do. Also, I really like to do things with regards to our youth. And one of my campaign promises was to have every child between the ages of 10 and 18 given a free pass to all our rec centers. Proud to say that I've done that with the support of my council.
Definitely. Congratulations, that is already done. And I have my kids, they go to rec center all the time. Sun God, I'm in North Delta. And I think all the kids and the families are thankful to you for doing this act of kindness, I would say, because now kids are more into gym, they are more into recreation center than standing around on the corner of streets and so on.
What was really important to me too is that the families that are having a tough time, they can actually apply for passes, and they're given a special card. This way there's no stigma, and so everybody's treated the same, so you don't have to go ask. And it's tough on families, you know, and they have pride. And it's one of the things I wanted to do is ensure all the children have that access, regardless of their wealth, regardless of their income.
Very nice. We'll talk about a lot of stuff what's happening in North Delta, but before we go there, I have a personal question about your journey, about your childhood. How many siblings do you have? What your mom and dad used to do? What about your education? And I know you used to be a city manager in North Delta. How you get into be a politician, a mayor? Could you please let us know about your journey from childhood to the mayor?
I was born in Vancouver, and my dad was in the retail business and with a number of meat shops. And I actually worked in his meat stores. I was a full qualified butcher. And it was a really good learning experience for me. And when I was in grade 3, we actually moved from Vancouver to a new development in Burnaby on the South Slope, which was Marumbo Street in this day. Like just going there when I was into Metro this morning. I remember when we took the journey across this gravel road going to a new house, but met a lot of friends and went to Burnaby South School there, played a lot of sports, had some really good experiences in athletics, which is why I think it's so important that we have that opportunity for our children here in Delta, because we have some tremendous volunteers both in North Delta, of course, and South Delta that are dedicated to helping kids. I went to BCIT and actually graduated in environmental health. That was my priority in those days. It was in the early 70s, and managed to get a job in Burnaby right away, and then moved up Burnaby quite quickly. By the time I was there at 29, I actually took over the department, which was over 30 staff. From there, I was promoted to the Director of Human Resources, and from there I became the Deputy City Manager. All the time while I was working, I kept going back to school, going to courses, going to night school, have a degree also in economics, and have advanced management studies at various universities. So I was very lucky to work for the employer of Burnaby for 30 years.
30 years in Burnaby, city of Burnaby.
And when I was deputy city manager, of course, I wanted to be the city manager. They had a great city manager there who served Burnaby extremely well, and I learned a lot from. So I was able to take the Burnaby model to come to Delta, because when I came to Delta, it wasn't very well organized at the day. We were in debt, seriously. And so by bringing a good administrative model, I was able to help mayor and council of the day, do what they wanted to do, was move the community forward, but trying to reduce debt at the same time. So thanks to work of council and our good staff of Delta over the years, we've gone to be recognized as a good city across Canada, as I mentioned to you, ranked very highly, top 53 in Canada. That's amazing when you think how many cities there are in Canada. And in the Metro Vancouver, we're rated as a top second. West Van is the top of us, but I like Delta a lot better than West Van.
Very soon, I think we're gonna be number one for sure.
I hope so. That's my goal.
And your tune-up, I mean, the residents of Delta always talk about your tune-up with former Mayor Louise Jackson when you were here as a city manager and she was mayor. Now you are a mayor and she's a council member. So both of you had a vision that you want to take forward. So what was that vision?
Our vision was to do the very best possible for the residents here and to ensure that we have adequate housing, better TransLink. And, you know, it's a constant battle trying to get services. Lois and I are different in a way. When I was city manager, council through the mayor gave us direction. My job was to get it done. We've got very good staff here now. Our new city manager, Sean McGill, worked for me for many years. When council gives him direction, he's doing the same thing. So it's been pretty seamless insofar as continuing moving Delta forward. I have a bit of a different style, trying to work with my fellow mayors to get things done. George Massey Tunnel was a good example. We can't just keep arguing on our own. We need to work collectively with other mayors to get things done. And that's one of the benefits of doing that, is that I have the support of all the mayors along the 99 corridor, including City of Vancouver and White Rock, Surrey. I've included the First Nations, the Musqueam, the Tsawwassen First Nations, Richmond, and we're actually trying to make some progress now. We need to get that congestion at the tunnel fixed.
How far we are from getting a new bridge there?
Well, I don't know what it's going to be yet. It could be a tunnel, it could be a bridge, but they're now starting to report out. So thanks to Premier Horgan and Minister Trevina, we actually have a study going on now. They've been consulting extensively, and we're actually have meetings the next few weeks to see what path we're going to take. At the very end, it's their decision, but whatever decision they make, whether it's a tunnel or it's a bridge, I've got to make sure it's the best solution for Delta. And that's like the SFPR. We had a lot of people against the SFPR.
Yeah.
I see those people driving it on it all the time now.
Yeah.
But when they announced it wasn't our preferred route,
Yeah.
but when they announced the route, I said to our staff, okay, now we need to make it the best solution for Delta. And we worked very closely with the province to ensure our connections were robust. Our Tilbury area had good connections, and so that worked out extremely well. Same thing we're going to do, whatever announcement is made by the province, is to make sure it's going to work for our Deltans.
When we talk about transportation, in North Delta specifically, there are not too many bus routes over there. There are some on 116, 120, and 112. There are not too many buses that go in. SkyTrain, we can't even talk about that. It's not even close. So are you talking to the provincial government to have more buses in Delta, so students and new families and all of them, they can move around faster?
Yeah, not only the provincial government, also TransLink. And we're just trying to put that Sunshine Hills community bus, the community shuttle in.
Mm-hmm.
It was turned down by the community a number of years ago, which I was very disappointed. It's well supported now.
Great.
You know, there's not this fear of a big bus going through the community, because that's not what they are. But we have to make the east-west connections more. And one of the things that we've managed to accomplish is a rapid bus that'll be coming in next year to Scott Road. So that's going to give us more ridership. The ridership on Scott Road over the last year has increased over 20%. People will take the bus if it's reliable and frequent. And that's my goal, is to ensure that happens. So if we get a robust transit system on Scott Road, we need to make it robust, you need to have those connections, east-west. And that's what we're working on also.
When we have a lot of people sitting in, living in our city, they need housing. Affordable housing is a great issue. Today, federally, Justin Trudeau has announced that up to 800,000 housing, there will be more incentives. In terms of North Delta, what is your vision about affordable housing, about dense housing development like town housing and high-rises?
Well, we need more ability for the middle income group to be able to purchase homes, and for young people to purchase perhaps a condo. And so we're working on trying to do that supply. We actually have a housing initiative study being launched right now. We're having public consultation within the next couple of weeks. And so we actually want to come up with a good housing plan that will fit not just North Delta, but all of Delta. And that's one of the commitments I made, and that's the commitment that's being held right now.
When we talk about sports and youth, you have done
I hit the ball pretty good when I was there too.
Yes, I saw you. It was Ravi Kalu with you?
Yes, and the Premier Horgan. In
Premier
fact,
Horgan was there.
hit it further. The Premier then reminded me that we need a bridge or what time.
Great, definitely. Now, how about 84 under 16 athletic track? We heard it is coming soon. How far we are from the athletic track? Plus now, both rec centers. I think the North Delta Rec Center and Sun God, they're both getting congested quite a bit because now with the students, a lot of students. Is there any plan of another rec center somewhere in North or South Delta?
So we have to look at all of Deltas, as you know. Our weak point right now is Windskill and Tawasin. It is very undersized, very old, so we're actually having an assessment of that building right now. Insofar as North Delta, we did put in the new workout area upstairs. I don't think it's being used as much as it should, and the concern I hear from people that talk to me about it is why is the cost to go to that fitness center the same as Sun God, where you can actually, after your workout, go swimming or go in the hot tub, a lot more options there, and it's a valid concern. Our Parks Commission is looking at all our fees and charges to ensure that we actually have no barriers, but we need to do some incentives to make sure the fitness center at North Delta Rec Center is being used more.
Yeah, so that people can go more there. It is good size.
Yeah.
I've been there, but definitely the swimming pool is an outdoor swimming pool,
Yeah.
so it's not being used all the time.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that we're looking at through the Parks Commission, like should we put a cover over that outdoor pool to get more
Maybe.
longer use? So there's,
Yeah.
there's a lot of ability for us over the next 4 years. So what I did was I wanted to talk to the sport user groups directly. So I had the Mayor's Summit on sports. And so we met with the indoor users and we met with all the field users. And we received extremely good responses back. It was very well attended. And we're putting a plan through now, through our commission, insofar as what we're going to do over the next 4 to 5 years for capital improvements. Our play fields are not as good as they should be. And playability is questionable on some of them. So one of the things I wanted to do is you got to treat it like a golf course. Every year a golf course, they sand, they deep tine, they treat it. And we need that same program. So Parks Commission is developing a program for council's consideration where we will actually dedicate funds each year to ensure that our fields are all, the sports fields that are being used are actually being properly maintained every year to make the playability the way it should be. That'll be a first for Delta, and it's well overdue. And again, that's one of the reasons I wanted to become mayor, is because I could see those things and the priorities, and every council has different priorities.
Definitely.
But I wanted to match the priorities, what the people wanted when we knocked on the doorsteps over their election.
I must say, so far you are good at connecting with people, especially your social media is quite a bit, it is visual out there. People, they can go, they can give their comments or suggestions and so on. It's a new technology that you're using. Congratulations for that. Talking about the new theater, the council chamber in North Delta, I think people are eagerly waiting for that. When is it coming?
So right now, we should be getting the keys within the next few weeks. And when you get the keys, it's just like a new house. Then you have to move your furniture in.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work insofar as balancing the HVAC. There will be deficiencies noted. And before, I always thought that the best thing to do in my experience and my practice was you move in, you find the deficiencies, you fix them right away.
Yeah.
Otherwise, a warranty period expires and then you
Definitely.
can't go back. So that's what we'll be doing over the next 3 months. Our staff are excited about it. I know myself and council's very excited. We're looking forward to the days where we can have our council meetings there now. And as you know, I committed to having every other council meeting in North Delta. As soon as I became mayor, that's what we did. So, but it's going to be nice to have it, give Kennedy seniors back their room,
Yeah.
because they need it. And we'll be moving there. The first meeting in January will be in the Performing Arts Center in North Delta. I'm really excited about that.
Great, that's a great news. Plus that theater could be used for the art and culture, the plays and theaters and concerts as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you a little bit back again to your family. I know your family ties are also with the East Indian families. One of your family members. Could you please let us know who is that and what kind of ties do you have with the Asian communities or Indian communities, especially in your family?
I had good ties before, but my son married a lovely South Asian lady, Devinder Shahal, now it's Devinder Harvey, and I'm proud to say that I'm a proud grandfather, our first grandchild, Rania, who's a year old now. Our families are very close, and it's just been a treat to have the Shahal family as part of my family. It's been tremendous.
Great. Now you enjoy both cultures. You are a Canadian and you know everything about Canada's culture, celebrations, festivals and all that. Now being a granddaughter from a South Asian Indian family, so you also get taste of Indian food, Indian festivals, Indian attire. So what is your experience about that?
I was fortunate enough, just after I left Delta, and I was trying to make up my mind whether I'd run for mayor or not, I had a journey to India for 4 weeks. I think I mentioned it to you. And we saw everything, and the culture was so impressive. I loved the food. People were so warm and caring, and it was just a great thing for me. But I really believe in inclusiveness, and that as mayor, I'm to ensure that is a priority for me, is to ensure that everybody in Delta is welcome and is included.
Great. As we are heading towards the end of the year, Diwali festival is one of the biggest festivals in the Indian community.
One of the best too.
It's one of the best as well. You get chance to dress nicely, colorful dresses, a lot of food, lot of festivity, dances, and so on. And you are part of the Times of Canada Diwali Gala for so many years. It's a festival and a function where we give excellence awards to the community, giving back to the community. The Times of Canada also give away a gift of a car to one of the participants whoever comes there. And we also invite some entertainment, Bollywood personalities to perform. So this year, I invite you personally here right now.
So I'll be there, thank you.
It's
Yeah.
October 25th. And I request you to give your Diwali wishes to the entire viewers of the Times of Canada.
Well, as mayor of Delta, proud mayor of Delta, I'm looking much forward to the Diwali festival, and best wishes to all the individuals in our South Asian community. Vinny, thank you for your great work in our community. It's very well recognized, your leadership, and look forward and appreciate the invite, but I'll be there along with my wife. I really enjoy the festival, the dancing, and also the fact that you're honoring very special people from your community. Your community does so much for Delta to make it what it is today, one of the best cities in Canada.
Thank you, Mayor. One last thing, that this year we have a very special presentation that we're going to make. It's called Lifetime Achievement Award, and this is going to Baltej Dillon. He's a former RCMP officer, just retired from Surrey RCMP, and we are giving him a Lifetime Achievement Award. He's the first RCMP officer with turban. So he opened the door for all the cultures.
Tremendous.
All the cultures and too many other people to come forward so they can serve the Canada as a part of their duty. So this is the biggest award we are giving this year, and I can proudly say that RCMP along with Delta Police and many other police forces, they are coming there to give him Guard of Honor. So we'll enjoy, and that is going to be a historic moment, Mayor.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.